And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite imagery showing low pressure here near the St. Lawrence Island area and a front pushing some clouds and moisture into the western interior areas. And then not much out here to the west, but you can see a big cirrus shield here with the next strong system. It'll be pulling up here and bringing a chance of rain late tonight into the Aleutians and into the eastern Aleutians as well. Otherwise, another mostly sunny, fair day with light winds central part of the state here all the way down to the Kenai Peninsula. A few passing clouds across Kodiak Island and some breaks over the southeast coast. And putting this into motion again, you can see the building clouds down here associated with the storm that's still well off the chart here on today's analysis. But we had this front bringing some areas of light rain into the western interior all the way down to the Alaska Peninsula and extending northward here, kind of linking up with this weak trough along the western Arctic coast. High pressure over the Yukon Flats. And again, sunny skies, Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, right up through the central interior, all the way to the central and eastern Arctic coast. A few showers here over the central and eastern Copper River Basin, extended along the North Gulf Coast, eastern North Gulf Coast in the northern Panhandle, but some sunshine over other areas of the southeast coast. And for tonight, this front moves inland, weakens into a trough here with some light rain showers, Bristol Bay, cloudy skies, areas of light rain or showers here through much of the western interior into the Kuskokwim Valley and then kind of ending there at the Alaska Range. Variable clouds here, actually clouds on the increase for the Kenai Peninsula Cook Inlet area. It should stay pretty nice for the Susitna Valley on up through the interior there to the Yukon Flats and even the eastern Arctic coast. See a few breaks with light winds, dry conditions. Dry for the southeast coast here. Chance of showers along the North Gulf Coast with this weak low developing there in southern Prince William Sound. And for tomorrow, that just weakens into a trough, but enough moisture left over to keep the shower activity going. And possibly a little farther to the west now into the Chugach Mountains, Matanuska Valley area, and Prince William Sound, North Gulf Coast. Best chance of moisture there, but you can see showers all the way up to the eastern Alaska Range. And in the northern Panhandle, dry over the central and southern southeast coast there. And a weak trough with some skiffs of light rain or snow for the western Arctic coast. And dry here now over the western interior. Here's this next big storm bringing gale force winds and rain with it. Central interior, Adak westward there into the Alaska Peninsula. Increasing chances of rain, mainly the southwest part of Kodiak Island, Akiak, Sitkinak areas. In the afternoon, Bering Sea, weak high pressure keeps it dry with light winds there. Light winds over all interior Alaska once again, as well as the Gulf into the Panhandle. And then for Saturday, first day of the weekend, this little tracks northeastward just south of the Alaska Peninsula. Gusty winds and rain here from the eastern Aleutians up into Bristol Bay, the Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, good shot of rain coming in there. Gale force winds along the North Gulf Coast. And increasing, looks like periods of light rain here for south central Alaska, Prince William Sound. See the heaviest amounts along the North Gulf Coast and western Prince William Sound, as well as Seward and the southern coast of the Kenai Peninsula. Again, that's where the heaviest precipitation will be. Increasing chances of rain here along mainly the central and north coast with increasing winds for the Panhandle late in the day, otherwise just increasing clouds there. Stays pretty nice up over much of interior Alaska. Another very weak trough brings a chance of light snow to the central and western Arctic coastal areas. Maybe a few isolated showers down across the Alaska or the Seward Peninsula. And breaking out here around the Pribilof Islands and pretty dry for the central and western Aleutians with maybe a few sunbreaks out there in the afternoon hours. And then moving on to let's see, this was shows the winds coming up with that next big storm here coming up to the Alaska Peninsula. You can see a narrow band crosses the North Gulf Coast area, and eventually the main system with the strongest winds stays to the south, but ahead of the front you'll see a good shot of 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts here, 50 miles an hour coming right up into the northern Panhandle, eventually pushing through the southeast coast. And for the lows tonight for the Panhandle, in the 40s there. Otherwise 30 to 35, southern Alaska, in the 20s here through the central and eastern interior areas, all the way up to the eastern Arctic coast. Milder 30s with a cloud cover out here over the western interior and the northern Bering Sea. 40s for the Pribilofs and the Aleutians and the Alaska Peninsula. Highs tomorrow, 50 to 55, Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, Alaska Peninsula to all the way out there to Adak. And in the 50s for the Panhandle, mid-40s for the Copper River Basin, upper 40s to lower 50s, south central Alaska, and in the mid-40s to the central interior with 30s for the Brooks Range, 30s and 40s for the North Slope and the Arctic coast. And then the lows, we've got lower 20s here from the Arctic coast, or actually upper 20s there, lower 20s from the Brooks Range southward to upper 20s in the Copper River Basin area. Otherwise in the 30s for south central Alaska, mid to upper 30s west of the Alaska Range to near 40 along the southwest coast. And it looks like lows in the 40s, lower 40s for the southeast coast. Highs tomorrow, or highs Saturday afternoon, 40s to lower 50s, or 40s to mid 50s for the Panhandle, 40s to near 50 south central Alaska, otherwise the remainder of interior Alaska in the 40s, even the North Slope into the 40s there, but near 40 or upper 30s for the Arctic coast, and lower 50s out over the Bering Sea.